Hey family, welcome back to another episode of Unmute Your Mic podcast. And you are here with your host and your favorite coach, Coach Lauren J, and my co-host and one of my favorite people, Jeremy Watkins. And it's just a reminder, right? We overcome by the word of our testimony. It's just a reminder that trauma don't last always. You know what I'm saying? It really doesn't, and even with my dad, I love to hear his stories. I love to hear life through his eyes and what it has looked like, because I'm so much of my father's child. And so there's so many times he says things that I'm like, oh, that's not that was fun. Bring my bags back. This is not, not my outfit.
I'm cracking up.
But we have such great conversation, about things and moments of vulnerability, and we can sit in that. And so I believe that this has always been the time. The time is always now, the moment we choose it, that we can come from behind the trap of the traumas and the triggers, because triggers really keep you trapped. They really do. And that's really the thing. And you've got somebody sitting right there well, if you come out, I'll walk with you. If you come out, I'll sit with you. It's okay. We may both look crazy, but that's okay too. I'm gonna be here when I'll be here when you're ready.
Yeah.
Because that's what God's love feels like. He don't leave. People oh, okay, well, when you're done, finish with your temper tantrum. Just come on back. I'll be here. I'll be rested. I don't have to change how I see you and how I feel about you and what I think of you just because at a moment it may not be the best moment for you. And I'll say this to the men who have wanted love, but you've been, the streets had you outside. The streets had you provide. Now, but a woman that really loves you doesn't love you for anything that you can buy her. She loves you for stuff that money can't buy and only time can bring. And that is what's in you. It has nothing to do with what you do for a living. It has nothing to do with your titles. It has nothing to do with your cars and this, because those are all things and those things can pass away. Who are you if we had nothing? Because oftentimes women are trying to mother the pieces that the man has been that he's still protective of because of the last person that hurt him. And so now we having to prove we not whoever this person was. And so I always challenge men to just be open. You never know what a person is willing to handle or how much of your weight that they can handle if you don't put your weight on it. You'll never really know. My mama said, a faith that hasn't been tested can't be trusted. So you never know till you test it. And what are you going to lose anyway? Weren't you who you were before they came? Weren't you going to pay your light bill before they came? I mean, you weren't going to sit in the dark. Weren't you going to pay the water bill before? So what is there to lose is my question. The only thing to lose is the thing that you've been protecting the most, and that is your fears. And that is why you're not experiencing the fullness. Because I hear a lot of men say, you just don't know what I've been going. You just don't know. Well, we'll never know because you ain't said nothing. But I'm going to sit here till you want to tell me. I don't know because you hadn't said anything. And women, I'm going to challenge us here. The moment a man gets vulnerable with you, know that you have just become one of the safest moments for him. He'll always remember that moment. So let's not use that moment to decide later that when you're mad, that's the moment you want to bring up. Because he will never expose himself in that way again. If the moment with you is that traumatic, they just won't. So, the beautiful thing about love is that it heals us all. It heals us all while still healing us individually. And so, that's my take on it.
That's good.
That's my take on it.
That's beautiful. I mean, if we would just share what's going on inside of us, it will reveal what's in the other person to show how they can navigate life with us.
That's good.
But you can't know if somebody has the capability of navigating life with you if you don't tell them about what's going on inside of you. And we have this thing where we're like, I'm going to put up a wall until I could tear it down. And then we'll like entertain people in dating. We'll go on all these dates. We'll hang out. We'll spend hours on the phone talking about surface things. I don't know you. I don't know you. I don't know you. And I was like, well, they don't know you either. So let's just entertain. And then we're like, oh, this entertainment is so fun. I think I really like them and they really like me because they've allowed me to be behind a wall and still be around me, even though they don't know me. So then we're like, okay, now I want you to know me. And then all of a sudden you start realizing that that person was never equipped to walk with you because you waited after the entertainment to tell them who you really are. Now you realize that you've discovered somebody who can't actually carry the capacity of you.
That's the one right there.
We have dating and relationship building so backwards.
Yeah.
If you can show up and chase me while I have my wall up until I want to come out, then you can have me. Mm-hmm. And then when you get from behind the wall, you realize it was an enemy waiting for you the whole time. But you know what someone does who really is equipped to love you?
What?
Is while they're behind the wall and you're sitting on with the back against it on the inside and they're sitting with their back against it on the outside and they're walking you through how they're able to navigate why you're hidden behind the wall so that when you come out, they're sitting there already knowing you. We want people to play the trumpet. We want people to DoorDash us behind the wall, to slide it underneath the door. We want people to buy all these clothes and throw them over the wall so you can catch it. And then we'll say, oh, well, that's the man for me. And we'll call that soft lives or whatever lives we want it, whether it's men or women. If somebody gets to give you stuff, like you're in your penitentiary that you're calling a wall in a safe place, but I got to pass it underneath the door in order for you to get it. And that's the only way you'll come out. And then get triggered when somebody's on the other side of that wall that truly wants to know you. And then they realize that when you get to know them and they get to know you, you realize that the wall is never needed. And wonder why we can't manage triggers. We've let triggers tell us that the only way somebody can know me is if they fight to get over the wall. And we forgot that just because we've experienced pain, we forgot that love didn't leave just because pain happened.
No.
We are so pain obsessed in our world that this is why people are the most isolated, are the most alone, are the most offended, are full of resentment. This is why they are defaming other genders and other people. This is why we're the most segregated and divided, is because we are so obsessed with what somebody can do to us.
And we're so obsessed to holding on to what someone did to us too. And that's another thing. So it's like you still hold it on to what somebody else did. And and so we can't even get over it or move on because you're still so cuffed to being the victim that you don't realize you could have been in victory 30 years ago, but you're still locked up. And so that's why we go back to this dating thing. That's what happens when we get into dating and entertaining people. And we're really just kind of treating them like Band-Aids. We're treating them like painkillers. We're just taking them right now because we got a headache. But the truth of the matter is we wouldn't worry about it.
Yep.
If we really spent time with God with it. And let him heal it, right. Then you can enjoy the people. And then we run everyone off and say, nobody's here.
Yep.
But you told them not to come. You should have been here.
Yep.
Did you? And I'm always quick to say, well, did you communicate that?
Did you communicate it?
Because I don't know how to be there for you if you don't tell me. And we have a really bad case of giving people what they didn't ask for. Because we'll do this. Well, I was giving you your space. But did I ask for it?
Did I ask for it?
No. Well, you was busy, but did you say you?
Yeah.
So you were waiting on me to call you? So what happened when the phone don't work both ways? Like some of us are still under that old mindset. I ain't calling him till he call me first. Why? If you want to talk to him, call him.
Get to him, just call him.
why would you tic-tac-toe with the phone call?
Bruh. Crazy, ain't it?
If I want to say something to Jared, I'm going to say what I want to say. I will send my message. Go, will you read it?
Oh, yeah, no, you
I'm
gonna
going to say what I
call.
want to say. I ain't got time to be up there. Wait, I'm going to see if he going to say. No, I'm going to say what I want to say. This is what I need to say. And then we'll go on. Like
1,000%.
Like that's, to me, that's just being grown. We play so many games and we lose at every last one of them.
Lose at every single one of them, Lauren.
Like, what would happen if we stopped playing games? I'm almost 40 years old. Playing games is not fun to me. And again, not
in connection.
No.
Not in relationship.
No, it's wild, and so we have to hold ourselves accountable a lot of times for the issues and the traumas that we're in, because sometimes we're blaming our partner for not showing up, but the truth was you never sent the invite, sis. You never sent the invite, and we want God in Him. God is the one that's mindful of you and knows the hair on your head, and that, like, God knows what you're gonna need tomorrow. Not him. He know if you tell him what's on the calendar. He know if you expose what's coming up, but he doesn't know just like what's happening in the next 3 years. But the Lord does, and we expect that from our men, and we put that on them, and then you're not doing this, you're not good enough, you're not, like, listen, next time you in a battle, I saw this on some I think one of the podcasts we like to listen to, it may have been Jay Shetty's, and this guy was sharing this way that him and his wife resolves conflict, and I really liked it. I thought it was so good. And he said, when we are trying to resolve conflict, instead of telling each other what the other person did wrong, we tell each other what we did wrong. So instead of saying, you didn't call me, well, you didn't say, you didn't, why you didn't? Instead of saying why you didn't, we say why we didn't.
That's so true.
And so much reconciliation comes from that.
That's so true.
And I can definitely say it worked even with me. My son, my oldest, a couple of days ago, we had to have a conversation, and I didn't like the way he went about the situation. And so I was like, well, why? Like, what we doing?
Yeah, what we doing?
I was irritated by the whole setup. I felt bamboozled. And so when we came back and we had the conversation, like I was like, I need time, because I'm real quick to say, I just need time to process. I'm real good about that. I need time to process. And I really do take time to process. And so the first thing I thought about was, you know what? Let's get on the other side of this. So I said, let me tell you the two things that I did wrong in this situation as your mom. A, I should have asked you, how were you feeling? Like, what was going on in your day? Like, I should have asked, because it's typically what I do. Right. And then I was like, I should have been paying more attention, because sometimes I'm too busy. And so I was like, I owe you that as your mom. I said, and so for me, I said that those are the two things that I want to tell you in this scenario I did wrong. And I said, you want to share what you did wrong? And he was like, yes, I should have come to you instead of trying to hide it, but hide it in plain sight where I know you would find it, and that evoke a conversation, because I know you're going to come to me about it. And so we were able to have that conversation. And then yesterday he was able to come in and tell me, hey, Mom, I didn't do the best on this class, on this assignment. And I forgot about it. I forgot about that time, and I was focused on something else. And so I prioritized the test over this other quiz, and I didn't do a good job. And you know what I did in that moment? I said, thank you for coming and telling me that. How did that feel to, like, not have to hide it and just bring it to me? Because I'm going to know anyway, right?
Right. So much freedom. And
he was like, it felt really good. And I said, so let's talk about what we're going to do next. Since you forgot to study, you didn't, what have you. I said, so we need to get a planner, because they can't use on their Google Chromebooks, they can't use a calendar. And I said, so I'm going to get you a calendar, and that way you can get a small one. We'll keep it in your bag. And so then you can write down what's coming up, and then you can add it to the Alexa calendar when you get home, so it can remind you. And he was like, I really would like that. And that was the end of the conversation. Like, sometimes we will condemn and we'll get mad, and we take it personal. Like, why are you playing in my face? Like, we get hot. Yeah. When the conversation really can be can really end if we just do what Adam didn't and own. Mm-hmm. If we do what Eve didn't and own. Let me own what I didn't do right in this scenario instead of trying to tell you what you didn't do right.
Yeah.
Because pointing the fingers is what's keeping you at war. But when both of you say, this is what I did wrong, and this person said, well, you know what? This is what I did wrong. Do you know the freedom in that? Mm-hmm. And then we see that the issue is wrong. Now we can win the war because now we're on the same team. But we can't win the war when we ain't on the same team.
We ain't on the same team.
And that puts us on the same team. So that's my challenge to those of you that are listening, that are in whatever relationship. Because listen, whoever get my sons, baby, be highly emotionally
be ready,
available, and be ready to communicate.
Be ready,
because they want to talk about it, and they don't understand why you yelling.
Yeah,
to calm down, and then we gonna talk. Because if you doing all that, you breaking up a switch, you're hot. Now you're saying anything. It is not working, right? So being able to be on one accord, because I want to always be mad about you, even when I'm mad with you. That should always be the goal.
Mm-hmm. Always. That's so beautiful what you're instilling in them, because what happens when things challenge them, or they feel failure, or they've fallen short, they know that they never lose access, and nor do they lose the inheritance of the love that you have for them.
Yeah.
That's everything. If you want to learn how to navigate a trigger into a positive response, is that right there, Lauren? Is that a trigger does not have to remove access, and a trigger can invite us into a love that is already present.
Yeah.
If a trigger creates opportunity where we want to stay in access to one another, and we're both believing in the love that's already present, then we're naturally going to flow in oneness as we navigate things. And we're never going to let the trigger and what it told us be the actual voice over the reality of the relationship we're experiencing.
Yeah.
And so, but and this is what's beautiful about what you're revealing, Lauren. Okay, I want to tell this person what's happening in me. Mm-hmm. Though when I experienced this is what the trigger told me. But I'm not going to believe in what the trigger told me. I want to work this out with the person to see what they have to say.
Yeah.
If this person wants to remove access, if this person doesn't want to operate in the love that's present, then you know that that's a person that can't navigate life with you when it comes to your triggers. Mm-mm. Not because they triggered you, but because they don't know how to navigate the trigger when you bring it to the relationship. Mm-hmm. Now, even if they don't know how to navigate the trigger in the relationship, that doesn't mean that I'm still supposed to be out of the relationship, because I still have to go to God to see what he says. And that's the part that we miss.
And baby, it is not easy, but it's good.
I'm going to say this, and this may mess up some people, and people are going to do whatever they got to do, but I can't withhold what God believes from us.
Yeah, say it.
There are people who are currently in parental relationships, friendships, and marriages where they want to leave because that person is unavailable in an area. And I want to tell you that just because a person may never become available in something, God does not permit you to exit. We have come into a time where if people don't perfect themselves from what you need from them, that it gives us the right to exit. Well, that's not how God permits relationship.
You in that thing. Because we about to talk about it. I just want to say one little thing with the people. You know I was around with this Bible. I'm like,
listen, I'm telling you, we may listen.
You're right. You're right.
My mama, my daddy, whoever's in my life, who's whatever, they operate like this, and I'm sick of it. Like, I think there's like all these statistics coming out where we are the generation that have exiled ourselves from our parents the most right now. Yep. We have cut off our parents because of who they are, because of the generation that molded them, and because of the belief systems we disagree with, because they're in old practices for their time. And because they can't assimilate, and because they can't evolve themselves to our time, because that's not what molds them, then that gives us the right to remove ourselves from people. And I want to let you know that is not how God irons out relationships. You may have somebody that may have some struggles in some areas, and God is like, I ain't tell you to leave.
James 1:4. Because what's that John scripture, perfect love cast out fear.
First John chapter 4, yeah.
And I remember, this has been a couple years ago now, probably about 4 or 5, when I asked God, what's perfect love?
Mm-hmm.
Because, you think of perfect, you think of wholeness, you think of not lacking, right? Just the word perfect itself.
Mm-hmm.
And he took me to James 1:4. Let patience have, this is a King James version here. Let patience have her perfect work, that ye may be entire, wanting nothing. Notice it said patient. Let patience have. So when you try to run, let patience have a perfect work, that ye may be entire, wanting nothing. And there's something that happens in the wait. There's something that happens in the process of just being patient. Because that just being patient with someone, that allows them to experience God through you. Because God don't run. He don't run away from your triggers. Them triggers ain't nothing but a little temper tantrum that you've been trying to have since you was 8. Like, that's all it is. You've been trying to have that temper tantrum for 35 years.
Yeah.
Like, that's funny. And today is the day. Take your time. Take your bow. But let patience have.
Yeah. Let patience have.
A perfect word.
And in the patience, we are remembering, we are remaining, and what sustains us in the patience is what God believes about us and what God believes about the other person. And trusting God to bring to pass what he believes about the other person and not depending on ourselves to do it for them. Then we have the freedom to wait, because now I no longer bear the weight of making sure this person is molded. I just sit and wait on God to mold them, because I know he'll do it because he's doing it in me. That will keep you patient. But we start looking at our earthly life and we start looking at our human experience. And because this person doesn't do this and this person do that, and I need and I need and I need. And God's like, I already am that for you.
And we have so much access because we can get on our phone and see what Susie has been doing. You said like we can,
the world telling you.
Yeah, because back in the day when we ain't have cell phones, you had the beeper. You had to be at the house to get that phone call.
It was easy to endure because you didn't have the world's experience to tell you what was and is possible
all day long.
Right?
People, Louise, if you didn't remember when we didn't have internet. Remember, you just had to get a book. There was no. Y'all remember that dial-up, AOL? When we didn't have, like, the more we're exposed to things, it's a gift and a curse. And it's all in how we steward it, right? So if you're exposing yourself to, and then it's so crazy because the internet studies you more than you studied yourself. It knows your algorithm. It knows what you're drawn to. So it keeps putting that in front of your eyes. And then all of a sudden you keep thinking, oh yeah, God just keep revealing the thing. No, it's just you keep looking for it. Mm-hmm. But if you start looking for what's right, if you start looking for, like, you know what, God, what did I bring into this? Mm. If there's pee in the dating pool, was it pee on me before I got there? What did I provide? What did I bring? Because I've never seen the water that, had pee in it by itself.
Well, if it ain't got no chlorine, I don't get no pools that ain't got no chlorine in it. You understand what I'm saying?
But I'm just saying, like when the last time water came out the well and it was pissy? I'm just saying.
You stupid.
When the last time, you saw water spring out and it came out pissy. It came out of the body. So it had to come out of us.
Yeah, for sure.
It had to come out of us. We got to accept our responsibility in it. It's the only way.
I agree.
That's the only way.
That's funny though. I can't
like this lady said what? And then they thinking about it. Let me go check one of them wells and see.
Let me go check one of them wells. It's hilarious. I'm dead.
But I'm complete.
I agree with you. I agree with you. It comes from us. We don't take accountability. And but the accountability to navigate the trigger is found in us always getting God's perspective, always seeing what God believes. And it removes us from carrying what was never meant for us to shelve. And And that's usually the trigger. The trigger usually comes in areas where we're shelving something. If I'm free of it, you can't trigger me. If I don't carry it, you can't trigger me. How you going to trigger something that ain't even in my care?
Ooh.
That's in God's care.
And I've been saying it all week. This is not my business.
Listen, like I tell you, man, you walk with God long enough and you start seeing what moves and triggers God. And what triggers God is seeing people perish when he has a life for them where they don't have to. That's what I get triggered by. I don't care if somebody doesn't choose me, want me, or whatever. That doesn't move me. I love my daughter so much. And if there was ever a day where she was so mad at me that she stopped talking to me, she could never, in her absence or dismissal of me, make me believe that I have not loved her when I have laid down my life. She can't do it. It would be sad and it would be hurtful, but she can't move me. It can't trigger me to do anything, to transgress or to have offense, because I've seen the tangibility of what is true. And so that's how we navigate triggers when they show, is we go to God to look at what is true. And when we go to God to see what is true, it helps us respond to the trigger of remaining in a love that is always there with us, even when the trigger shows up.
No, man, that's powerful. And as you were talking, I was thinking about this. Oftentimes, it's also, the trigger is also connected to the tracking. Like what are people tracking?
Yeah.
Because that also takes you back to that trauma. So when we talk about, I don't know who this is for, but it's for somebody, but whoever's listening, the trigger that the reason you can't find the trigger is because of what they're tracking. And so if you find the track that they're on, if you find what the lie is that they're believing, and you listen to them the way God hears them, not the way you hear them, he'll show you, he'll expose that's where the thorn is. That's where we need to prick. That's where we need to grab. So, because somewhere along the way, they suppressed it for so long that you didn't even realize it was there. Yeah, because when you pull a weed, if you don't pull it by the root, baby, it's coming back.
1,000%.
It's coming back. And so you've got to be able to trace back to, like, what is it that they're tracking? Because sometimes where we think we're loving a person and we're giving them, our all, and we're going, that it goes back to, when did we stop communicating the truth about what was happening and how the experience was for us? And like, just checking. Sometimes it's just something as simple as checking in.
So true.
And just finding out, like, hey, how has this week been for us? What do you think? How are you feeling? Do you feel connected to me? Do you not? And really listen with an open heart, and not listen to try to defend yourself or to try to make the other person feel like that's not true, because it's their lived experience. It is their perspective. Whether you like it or not, it is. And if you don't get so concerned about liking it or not, you'll be able to help them listen and navigate from the other side. And there you can have reconciliation. But oftentimes we're on the go and we're doing, God's work, whatever work, we just work, and we're on the go that we miss steps in the process. And anytime you miss a step in the process, it will always affect the final product. Always. So check in, ask people, get their feedback. What is their experience like? Because you may be thinking you giving 5-star experience, and baby, you give a Motel 6.
When you said 5-star, you know who you reminded me of? I was like, who is Lauren remind me of?
Who?
Keke Palmer.
I don't know that man.
Keke Palmer, man. That's the girl who's in she was in that movie with what's her name? The singer. It was like a Friday, but it was the girls' version. That's Keke Palmer, right?
Yep, that's her.
Yeah, just like her. I was like, who is Lauren like when she, like, your person? She is like the most infectious person. And every time when you said 5 stars with that country, I was like, Keke Palmer said it that same way in the movie Nope with the alien, where she's in the Jordan Peele movie. Listen, I was like, oh my God, that's Keke.
Yeah,
you're welcome. You're welcome.
So,
well, listen, I don't know if I got any more to hit y'all on the triggers to keep us from destroying our relationships. I think we hit so many angles, so many layers. and hopefully provided some scopes and practices and for you guys to be able to navigate. So that way, if you are experiencing triggering, you have so many different like opportunities to get curious about, okay, where's this trigger coming from? What is God saying about this trigger? Is this like a current event of triggering, or is this a past event that's coming up in the trigger? Is this person really trying to harm me? Let me actually dig into this experience to see what's happening. And if they are trying to harm me, how am I aware of a love that's already here so that the offense towards me doesn't actually have to navigate the conversation with them, right? And so, man, Lauren, I think we dropped some phenomenal gems, as God always does with us in this episode. Do you have any final thoughts?
Yep, I just want to welcome them, invite them into our space, into the Oneness Bible Study Group.
Yeah.
So if you've been trying to navigate this thing called life on your own, and you really want to know, like, how can God heal that? How can I get so intimate with God and so engulfed in who he is that the only thing that comes out of me is what he's put in? The love, the excitement, the fulfillment, all the great things. I want to invite you to our Oneness Bible Study. We just kicked off this Thursday. It was so phenomenal. So we dropped the link. It's in the show notes. Make sure you click on the show notes. It's every other Thursday. So it's bi-weekly, every other Thursday, 7 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And come and be a part of just a beautiful community who just loves God. And Jerry and I we've already enjoyed just opening up our hearts and our home to all of you to just come in and find out who God really is beyond our fears.
Amen.
So we hope to see you.
Hope to see you. Love y'all. See y'all next week.
Peace.